Blessings, family. Sister Ajali. Oh, this has got me so happy. The Little Mermaid declared a massive flop for Disney by box office analysts. This has just been such a wrong production on so many levels, just for me personally, but I'm glad so many of us, because there's more than enough of black us out there, that we could have made this serviceably okay. But there's enough of black us out there, and then multitudes of white people and non-black, non-white people who just would never go to see such an awful propagandistic piece of trash. I know, just for black us. The slave, I no, I ain't never watched it. I will never watch it. But I saw scenes where I'm like, what is this? Antebellum slave play delusion? Uh, Pre-Civil War type of narrative where she's riding around in a horse and buggy and what? This is so we're so many of us are sick of the slave narratives, but that's white people's favorite portrayal of us. They are uncomfortable with us in scenes where we're in a powerful position, but also even more so where we're not bowed down to them. Thereby, they'll tolerate the interracialism a little bit, but overall, they're not our people. They don't go to see any type of movies with us in it. And who gives a damn? That is perfectly natural. I ain't mad at white people for wanting to be around and celebrate white people. It's when they come for us, they keep us from waking up to the beauty of black love, which is all over the place. I'm subscribed to so many just channels on Instagram. And Facebook, not as many, but some. But on Instagram, oh my goodness, I just start scrolling and I don't know what that is, but I could be scrolling for, I don't know, like a good half an hour. I try not to scroll for an hour. And I'll just run across so many. And this is just one account that I'm subscribed to. It's got 6,690 posts. I'm not subscribed to any of these places if I see a single pale person up in there or I see perversions. And then I'm gone. But still, there they are. Post after post after post after post. Sane, beautiful, mighty, black love. And so as Brother Yapo said when I was talking about the naked people at their pride parades, ain't nothing but a sea of white folks up in that jammer there. And they want to be able to just keep forcing the wedge of their perversions on the world using black us, and by making black us just feel as if we don't even exist. So we won't bother the world anymore with being against our own oppression, with being proud of being black. But it's natural. It's natural to love what you were born to be. Pink folks should love being pink. Right? They should not even find it necessary to go and get their faces all chopped up to stave off the years. They should just be like, being an old, wrinkled white person is the best thing ever for you white people. Right? So no, I'm glad. Please don't. It is not racist to want to see your own self portrayed in your own media. That's why we as black people, we just got to separate 100%. If we're not getting any Oscars, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing, because trying to work integration so that they could kill us And I keep putting out the data, and you got to go buy the soap, which will save us. Now, I know soap will save you. Go buy it right now. 25000yearcycle.org. I promise I'll make plenty enough to ship everybody their soap. It's unnatural. It's unnatural, this propaganda that they're shoving down everybody's faces so that they could keep us close enough to kill us with their man-made radiation, because they have to be able to control the distribution networks. They have to be able to control the media so that nobody realizes when you kill everything living, you lose authority to be in charge. There's something wrong with you. They have to keep that going so that when you hear a voice like mine, you just kind of tune out and think, well, she's just a housewife. She don't know what she's talking about. And she didn't go to Harvard. She didn't go to Georgetown. She didn't go to Yale. Well, you know what? I'm not saying I'm definitely not the Most High, but I'm just saying the highest authority in existence, as he created existence, didn't either. Okay? So we need to divest ourselves, not down like these swirlers want to go so that they're in one slave movie after another. But we need to divest ourselves so we're higher for real. And we are submitting to the Most High, who none of those, I'm not calling myself a prophet. All right? Not at all. I find it weird. I'm just a housewife, okay? But none of those warners from the Most High went to Harvard or Yale either. Right? That should just be like a sign that, okay, this person hasn't been super indoctrinated in an official MK Ultra program, as these schools, these universities are. They might be telling us the truth. Because they don't have the same brainwashing effect where I think a big fancy mansion is my measure of success. What the hell success is that if we're all eating radioactive foods? And so that, latency period, anyone? I know we don't study this stuff, but they make up words for their planned murder of us all. Right? And so I'm happy. I'm so happy Disney is going broke. I hope all these corporations go completely out of business. That would be sane, because they're killing everybody. In order to keep us close, they have to kill everybody. And the cancers are off the charts. I can't even put together all the deaths. But they're trying to come up with 1 million ridiculous excuses that have always existed for the surge in cancers. And they're going to sooner or later attach the pokey thingy to it too. And we're just going to go along with it while all the creatures are just dropping dead shore to shore. I'm like, I saw one. Wegovy is going to be blamed for the soaring rate of thyroid cancer, which is one of the first cancers that proves a radiological super event has happened because it produces radioactive iodine. And with this headline, I'm just saying, it's a devastating toll of Americans' colon cancer in young people. That's the radiation and the whole doctrine of the wokery, where that includes black us. What? Huh? We're supposed to be the most homophobic people on the planet, but they got us stuck in there with whenever they mention wokery, our name comes up sooner or later. Well, that's going to implode just like Titan. The same way as the transsutured people trying to pretend they're women, and then they destroy women's athletics completely because they're not women. Same as that's imploding. All of this biracial swirling nonsense as better than is going to implode, because this is ridiculous. Father of biracial children is slammed as he ain't racist. He's actually just being human, a white boy who notices that he don't want no black children. He had a child, and they've got a stock photo up here. It's not actually the family itself. He didn't have the nerve to put his face out there, right? But his firstborn son came out brown, real dark. He said darker than the mother. And then his second child, his daughter, came out a little bit white looking. And then he connected, bonded with the daughter, not with the son. And then he actually had a paternity test done because he was thinking his wife cheated on him. Right? And it turned out, yeah, that was your son. That happens in black family, but he don't know nothing about that. I mean, why would the wife still be with him? She didn't see his coldness towards his son, and yet she has another child with him. You don't see in this story, oh, she's divorcing me. These chicks are delusional. And in a black-hating family like that, because his wife is more black-hating than he is, that poor boy will never learn how lucky he is to have been born with a slightly higher wealth of melanin. And so this whole narrative that you're marrying up to an insult to a man who really doesn't like your blackness at all. He just a freak of the week, and he just is carrying his fetish on for maybe a couple years before he either kills you or divorces you. It's imploding on them. That's why they have to use their media control to shadow ban our comments, terminate all of my channels, because they're genocidal supporting. That is, genocide is integration. The two go together hand in hand. That's the ultimate conclusion. And we got to implode that. So head on over to 25,000yearcycle.org, where you are going to get just as close to the natural order of life as if we were separated from the devil right now. Because here is healing. Here is pure skin fortifying cleaning. Okay? Here are remedies where we work for you. We work overtime to make sure every product we have does what we say it does. And even better, I get the capital I need. I'm not going to get me a McFancy mansion. I'm going to build a lab. I don't need as much money to build a lab as I need to get a McMansion. And I don't want a McMansion. Okay? Because I ain't brainwashed. I know that if you don't know what's in your food radiologically, this is going to keep on happening. There's no other race with the highest infant mortality rate, the highest low birth weight rate as black us here in the unentitled snakes of America. Why you think that is? It ain't pollution. It ain't poverty, because the children born to the white folks in Appalachia, they're more poor than we are, but they don't have these rates of low birth weight and mortality with their newborns. Just us. So that's not pollution, because they're living in polluted circumstances. It's not just the habits of desperation that happens when you are dirt poor. That's the radiation, right? And because if you want to say, oh no, but we live in the cities, so do rich white people. But their birth rates aren't escalating off the scales like ours. That is targeted radiation, as Dr. Sternglass said, as the book Deadly Deceit said, as this study proved. Toxic waste and race. Come right on over, 25,000 year cycle. You could click on Ajali Shabazz right up in there. Our wonderful brother Yapo Yapo, who just published And What of the Cargo. I'll put a link to his book in the pinned comments. So you could go buy that book too. We want our own narratives. That's not just going to be dependent on me. That's dependent on all of us. So you click on Anjali Shabazz and you scroll on through and you're going to find every single thing that I have written or produced. You got to hit the load more. So that's because brother said he was having a hard time finding this black on 25,000 year cycle. And he's back, by the way. Brother Yappa Yappa, he back doing his old style shares, which aren't old style, his other style shares. They're so much fun. Oh my goodness, they're so much fun. And you also find my Fukushima t-shirt. Simple, just simple, all right? Woo. This way we can create our own stories. We don't have to attach ourselves to theirs, like we don't have even greater stories to tell. All right? All right. I love your family. And I prove it in my deeds of nonstop love for beautiful black you. Straight black family pride, and we own forever. Peace and blessings.